ladies and gentlemen. Today, my topic is about how Zakir Naik manipulated the Hindu scriptures, especially from Yajur Veda 40.9. Okay, so basically, what Zakir tries to tell is the Hindus already deviated from the original teaching from the Vedas. So, according Zakir's claim, that uh, Vedas actually suggesting only praying God in the no image form, and only one God. The God got no children, no family, no picture. So that is what he claims, and he's giving proofs from various quotes. Okay, from various quotes. So most of the quotes is giving is telling Brahman got no image. So that is the main uh, evidence is giving. Okay, but he never gives the second part of the teaching Hindu scriptures. Okay, so according to Hindu scriptures, God, we call it Brahman. The Brahman got two natures or two gunas. So one we call Nirguna, which is no image, and then the second one we call it Sarguna, which has image in the image form. So we got two separate natures, two different natures from the same God. Okay, so most of the quotes given by Zakir is from the first part of the Nirguna. So of course in the Nirguna part it mentions there is God is only one, no image, so that of course got no photos, and then of course got no family, no parents, nothing. So that part is yes, correct. But Zakir never tell about the second part, which is mentions about the Sarguna part, which the God can take form, because Hindus believes the entire theology of Hinduism says that God has the two natures. The God have no form, meaning the Nirguna form, and the God is omnipotent, omnipresent, omniscient. That means the God got all the power, and we believe the God has got the power to take any image, any shape, any form, at any time, any place or space. So we believe that. So it is written in the scriptures from Vedas and the Agamas, in the Upanishads, in Bhagavad Gita, in the Puranas, in the Shiva Puranas, everywhere the scriptures clearly mention about the two natures, two gunas of the God. So this is the part where the Zakir Naik purposely never reveal the second part. Okay, so the Vedas is clearly approves the both type of the worshipping. So Zakir claims the Vedas prohibited the idol worship. So in fact it is a lie. It's a lie and slander and blasphemy against the Hindu scriptures and Hindu gods. Okay, so I just take a few. For example, he mentions that Yajur Veda 40.9 verse 9, he tried to interpret that those who praise God in the form of Asambhuti is in the darkness, and those praise God in the Sambhuti form is in the further darkness. So how, according to his interpretation, Asambhuti means the God, which is the called natural elements such as water, fire, air, soil, and natural element. And then the second part he interpret that Sambhuti part, which is he interprets as a created things, created things, that means made by human. So such as idol, such as a chair, anything. So his interpretation is those who pray natural elements such as fire uh, is in the darkness, and those in the who prays that created things such as idol is in the further darkness. So that is Zacchaeus and his gangs, its followers interpretation, his students interpretation, and they very often try to say this out in public forums, in public meetings. But actually, it is a big mistake. It is a terribly interpreted with a bad intention. It's a bad intention interpretation. Okay, so when we check back what actually meant by the Yajurveda 40.9, it is not alone my own interpretation. It is what Adi Shankara, Jagat Guru Adi Shankara has interpreted before, and many other gurus is interpreted, and of course in Malaysia it was verified by a few other gurus. Okay, so it's not my personal interpretation. Okay, so what actually meant by that Yajurveda 40.9 is that those who pray Asambhati alone, those who pray Asambhati alone or believes Asambhati alone is in the darkness. That means those only believe that God has only one guna, one nature. That means Asambhati alone. That means no image form alone is in the darkness. And those only who believes that God is in the Sambhuti form. Sambhuti form means image form, is in the further darkness. So I must remember, those only believes that God only got one guna, one nature is in the darkness. So must be very clear in this part. Okay, and further Zakir Naik never explained the Yajurveda 40.10 and 40.11. Okay, the actual interpretation by the Hindu scholars that those who pray God in the Asambhati form alone is in the darkness, and those who pray God in the Sambhuti form alone is in the further darkness. So that is the meaning. Okay, suppose they supposed to believe both. Okay, in the Yajurveda 40.10 it clearly says those who pray God in the Asambhati form got their benefits, their own benefits, and those who pray the God in the Sambhuti form, they will be benefited in their own way. That means both got benefits in their own way. So if you look further in that part, you can see that those who pray God in the Asambhuti form, that means in the Nirguna form, no image form, is more to the moksha, reaching the ultimate. And for those who need the worldly life, and these people, they need that in the Sambhuti form, in the image form. And for example, in among the Hindus, you can see that we go and do rituals such as we are putting up the ghee light to the god, the idol in the temples. So for example, another example, the breaking coconut, doing the puja, doing the yagnas, all this for the benefit in the worldly life. Okay, so both got benefits. The Vedas never ever prohibited or tell no against that idol worshipping. I must be very clear, we cannot worship idol, we worship the God, the God in the form of murti shape. So you must remember that. And then further in the Yajurveda 40.11 says that those who believes both forms of Asambhuti and Sambhuti are actual bhaktas of the God. So we must believe both. So we must believe both. You must remember. So Hinduism clearly define God in the Nirguna and Sadguna form, Asambhuti and Sambhuti form, and that means the Hindus are the real bhaktas and they reach the abode of God. That means in a way, in a different term, in the heaven or in the Sivaloka or in the Vishnu Loka or different lokas. So that is what the Yajurveda 40.9 to 11 says. So Zakir Naik only manipulated the 40.9 for his own way and then tried to interpret and tells others about this. So this is totally wrong, misleading, slander, and also blasphemy against the Vedas and the Hindu belief. Okay, so in other term, those who are only believes only one guna, that means the God only got one guna like image, are in the darkness. So we can think back. I think you, Zakir Naik, you or Zamri Vinod or Firas Wong, you can think yourself who are actually in the darkness. Okay, so please do not try to misinterpret and try to advise the others. Let's say a non-Hindu take up your scriptures and interpret according their belief and then try to advise you and tell you that you are not following your actual teaching. So what happened? Is that fair? Is that good for a person who was so called the preacher of a religion? So please think twice. And those followers who believe what Zakir Naik tells about the Hindu scriptures and of course about other scriptures, I'm not very sure, but definitely I'm very sure about the Hindu scriptures. It's all lies, it is slander and blasphemy. So please stop to listen what he interprets. So you may follow what he is teaching about your religion. I got no problem on that, and then I got no issue on that. So those if you interfering in other people's religion and scriptures, that is not right. Okay, so if any comments, you can come up the comments and then tell me, no problem. Okay, thank you very much. I will come up with the other parts where Zakir Naik misled the Hindu scriptures. And for the moment, thank you, bye bye.